Hello again, Guardians. Megamson here, bringing you another Destiny 2 video. Now I want to cut straight to the point. We're going to be talking about totems and what you should be using. Hunter, Titan, Warlock, doesn't matter. We're going to go through, you're going to see background gameplay, we're going to go over the build with you. Let's jump right into it. So, you made it to totems. Yep, you got to totems. Go ahead, plant the flag. You're going to get into it. Two people calling out on left, one person calling out on right, someone saying that they're going to grab the orb. Doesn't matter who you are. Hunter, Titan, Warlock, I got you covered. I will tell you what you need to equip for the encounter, what class you should run, what equipment you should have, what mods you should be equipped onto your character. We're going to start with the Hunter class, specifically starting now. So, we got Void. You're going to want Void because you want to want survivability. We're going to use the Witherhoard Kinetic Exotic Grenade Launcher. What is that going to allow us to do? That is going to allow us to drop pools of energy, primal energy, right? Primeval's Torment. We're going to fill the ground with pools of Taken, Blight to kill, Taken, and Hive, respectively. We're going to generate orbs of power, right? The orbs of power are going to feed back into our super gains. They're going to work with the Star Eater scales. We're going to need a Stars and Shadow. We're going to need a Pulse Rifle. We're going to need something solar in order to use on unstoppable champions that are going to be throughout this encounter. Whether you're playing regular, whether you're playing master, you're going to need a solar Pulse Rifle. You're going to need a unstoppable thing. That brings us next to the Storm Chaser. We need stopping power. Storm Chaser, rapid hit, Vorpal weapon. If you don't have that, the Taipan, I want to say that's the one. It's the Vest linear fusion rifle. You want to hit enemies at a distance and you want to get them gone really fast. We're going to go over the build. We're going to start with a solar helmet. You have a minor mod, ashes to assets because you're going to be throwing your grenades, kinetic siphon in order to get that extra orbits. You need those extra orbs. So why do we need well of light? Explosive well maker is because we want to create that solar well. When you have explosive well maker on, no matter what grenade you throw, it's an explosion and it explodes, it makes an explosion or whatever, then you will get a solar well. So no matter what class you're running, you'll get that solar well. Next, we're going to go into our Void Arms. We're going to have a grenade launcher reloader. We're going to have Well of Tenacity, and then we're going to have that Unstoppable mod on it. So now, why do we have that Well of Tenacity on? Is because when we use our class ability, which we'll be using quite a lot to stay invisible, that's going to give us a Void Well when we kill an enemy. Next, we have the Pulse Rifle Unflinching with the Well of Life, going back to the Explosive Well Maker, using that mod in order for us to stay alive, and that's going to be key there. Next, we're going to have another Resilience mod on. We're going to have Better Already. We're going to be generating orbs. We want to get that health back. Linear Fusion Rifle pickup and the Reaping Well Maker. So, the Reaping Well Maker, after you activate your class ability and you get that purple well, you will end up getting resist times 3. We're going to go to the cloak. We're going to have Seeking Wells on, and that's going to allow us to bring those wells into us, right? It's going to be more functional, more functionality for the build. We're using the Mobius Quiver. That's shooting the multiple shots, right? Could be shooting the multiple shots, I want to say. Either way it goes, we want the tether. We don't want anything else. Triple jump, the melee. We have the Vortex Grenade, Stylus Execution, and Vanishing Step. Echo of Starvation, Echo of Remnants, Echo of Persistence. We want the Void Invisibility in our Devour to last longer, right? Next, we're going to be the Echo of Remnants. Your Lingering Void Grenade is going to last longer. And then the Echo of Undermining, making your Void grenades weaken the enemies for that Stylus Executioner. Going into the Titans, we're going to be using a solar class. We're going to have the BXR battle rifle for our solar pulse this time. It's going to hit longer ranges. It's going to keep us out of harm's way. It is excellent weapon to craft, but we're going to bring the power with the fixed odds machine gun. We still have the Witherhoard, but we're running a solar build. We're going to want incandescent out the wazoo. We're going to want to blow things up, make things explode, scorch, sunder, ignite, ignitions, explosions all over the place. We want the enemy to feel us, and they are going to feel us in a real hot and steamy way, right? Combining all this with our Loreley Splendor helmet, right? So BXR had the Outlaw, the kill clip, but the Lordly Splendor helmet got a little bit of a nerf, right? But it still allows us to survive when we get into weird situations, right? When the enemies start pushing up on us, if you're doing the master challenge mode and swapping sides and getting overswarmed by the big hive instead of these little taken guys. The taken guys aren't too bad on this side, but the bigger hive on the other side, they're quite the issue. So the cauterizing flame will allow us to get our health back. We're going to be using a harmonic siphon to get those wells, and we're going font of wisdom this time because our intellect is not the best, but we want to maximize our gains for super energy, because when we are in a pinch and everything starts to overwhelm us, the incandescent isn't going to always be the best play here. So I'm using that melee, that slide and slam down melee, in order to create the wave in the distance because it causes the ignitions instantly. No roaring flames. I don't want to be punching stuff all day. We're going to go over to the arms. That's our unstoppable, the momentum transfer, causing damage with your melee reduces your grenade, and we're going to have plenty of melee energy, and we're going to need that grenade to clear out waves of thrall that want to push in on us. As we have the unstoppable, we take them down easy, getting our feeding frenzy incandescent on. Next we have machine gun reserves to bump that up, and the explosive well maker again, just so we can make more whales when we get those explosions, right? So you can see the Lordly Splendor activating in the background when that terrible knight up top continues to rain down those arc lobs down upon us. Is quite annoying, but you can never count a good Titan out. With a good machine gun, with Lordly Splendor, with the BXR, you can handle any ranges. We got the machine gun scavenger for extra pickup on the energy, along with Well of Life, because the Lordly's got a little bit of a nerf, right? So we're pairing this with the throwing hammer super, not the one where you spin it around with the heavy stick and get the slam and tracking. We're going to want to hit everything from all sorts of ways and all angles, because the enemies up top, we want to need to take them out, and these are some big beefy guys on bottom. We just want to cause all sorts of mayhem with this build. Now putting it all together at the end is the elemental time dilation. This boosts the font of wisdom and our Well of Life, giving us more time in that state. We're using the Rally Barricade, we're using the Hammer Strike and the Thermite Grenade. Hammer Strike for mobility, Soul Invictus for survivability, Consecration for max destruction. Combining this with the certain aspects and fragments we have Ember of Imperium, solar weapon ability, final blows extend our radiant or restoration. We want the restoration. Your solar ignitions have more of an area of effect. We apply more scorch stacks, and rapidly defeating enemies with solar ignitions generates orbs of power, because we want to get our super back. We want our teammates to get our super back. We want our super back. Now that could be a little bit of flex spot if you want to. You can do Ember of Beams to give your solar projections stronger target acquisition. I didn't feel like it was necessary, but you can put that on. Now we get into the Warlock build. So for the Warlocks, you know you're going to be rocking Well of Radiance. I have the Phoenix Protocol, and I have the Glaive with me. Glaive for survivability, the Phoenix Protocol to get my super back quicker. Now, target acquisition on the Glaive isn't so good, so if you can craft a better Glaive, the Raid Exotic Glaive, not the Raid Exotic Glaive, the Raid regular legendary Glaive, I want to say that that solar is going to do you well in this encounter. Now, I'm using the Smite of Moraine. Any pulse rifle will work in that slot. Like I said, if you're using the legendary version of the solar glaive, then by all means put on the No Time to Explain. That's going to be the better pulse rifle for this encounter, but I am using the exotic glaive, and that has that healing turret activated with it. When you hit enemies with it and you get to a certain percentage, your energy meter is going to fill up, and then you are going to be able to proc the secondary effect, which is putting down that healing turret rift thingy, right? So this is also going to benefit you, it's going to benefit your teammate, and that's what I was going for here. I was going for a complete survivability build, and you're going to see me have a fusion grenade on and have a healing grenade on throughout the encounter, right? I swap it out, see which one works best, see which one fulfills the fantasy more. The fusion grenade for the overall build that I'm going to outline throughout the video is going to work best to get max amount of explosions, take care of those enemies up top, exploding twice, and getting rid of the riffraff in the rafters. So Smiter Moraine, good pulse rifle, like I said, no time to explain. That is also going to help you take out ads. Now the Cry Mutiny with Incandescent and the Vorpal weapon on it, right? I see that I could have taken the major spec off and put on minor spec to get more kills with the grenade launcher for the minor enemies, because it hits like a truck. Once you start hitting somebody with this cannonball projectile, they don't really last too long. But if I can kill the minor enemies quicker, I think I would want to have done that. So seeking wells for when you use your grenade. When you use your fusion grenade, make it explode twice, you're going to get your grenades and you're going to get more of them with the bountiful wells. We have the grenade launcher reloader and the glaive reloader respectively, because this glaive takes forever to reload, and the Cry Mutiny isn't too fast in its own right either. Now, putting on some resilience mods here, because my armor overall does have some squishiness to it. We have the elemental ordnance for when we throw our fusion grenade and get those double explosions. We're going to want the solar wells to come from that. Now with the explosive well maker, we're also getting more orbs that way. So from one grenade, you're going to be running into a lot or a plethora of the different types of the solar orbs, right? So if you're on your way out and you see about 2 thrall, you can throw your little fusion grenade on them, boom, explode twice, get your wells and keep going, because the longer the encounter lasts, the more enemies are going to swarm your teammate that are on that plate. So you don't really got to worry about 2 thralls. So we have the healing riff, we have the burst glide for movement, we have the celestial fire, right, to emit scorching blast. We have the healing grenade, but you can switch that out for the fusion grenade for the overall build that will be in the dim link in the description below. Touch of Flame to increase either our fusion grenade or healing grenade. Powered melees with Ember of Torches grants us Radiant. We have Ember of Solace, Radiant and Restoration effects apply last longer. Solar Weapon Final Blows increase our recovery, and Ember of Benevolence, applying Restoration or Cure to our teammates will grant us quicker cooldowns. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Look for the dim link in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.